What began as online conversations between young people living thousands of miles apart would eventually become the center of an international criminal investigation. One young man lost his life. Another now faces years behind bars. And the case has raised serious questions about the dangers that can exist inside hidden corners of the internet. Today we're looking at a disturbing story involving a British man, an American victim, online communities, and a criminal case that crossed international borders. In June 2025, a court in England sentenced 21-year-old Dylan Phelan to more than 6 years in prison after he admitted encouraging the death of 21-year-old Travis Dyer, a vulnerable young man from Louisiana in the United States. The case attracted attention on both sides of the Atlantic, not only because of its tragic outcome, but because much of what happened unfolded through online communication rather than face-to-face contact. Authorities say the two young men had been communicating for months through Discord, a popular online messaging platform used by millions of people worldwide. What started as online interaction gradually developed into something far darker. According to investigators, Travis Dyer had faced significant personal struggles in his life. Reports revealed that years earlier he had experienced devastating family loss and had also been dealing with ongoing mental health difficulties. Those circumstances made him particularly vulnerable. Experts often warn that individuals experiencing isolation, grief, or emotional distress can be at greater risk of being influenced by harmful online communities. While the internet can provide support and connection, it can also expose vulnerable individuals to people with harmful intentions. Prosecutors argued that this case became an example of exactly that danger. What makes this case especially unusual is how the investigation began. Months after Travis Dyer's death, Phelan reportedly disclosed information about his involvement to a woman he knew. Concerned by what she had learned, she informed his parents. Soon afterward, Phelan and his parents went to a police station in Leeds, England. There, he informed officers that he had been involved in events connected to the death of a young man living in Louisiana. Investigators immediately began examining the claims. As digital evidence was reviewed, authorities in the United Kingdom worked alongside law enforcement agencies in the United States. Investigators collected online communications, digital records, and evidence connected to conversations that had taken place before Travis Dyer's death. The case quickly developed into a complex international investigation. During court proceedings, prosecutors described a pattern of behavior that went far beyond simply witnessing tragic events online. They argued that Phelan had actively encouraged harmful actions over an extended period and that his conduct demonstrated deliberate intent. According to prosecutors, the encouragement was not a single isolated comment made in the heat of the moment. Instead, they described sustained communication that occurred over months. The court heard evidence that convinced prosecutors that his actions played a significant role in the events that followed. As a result, Phelan pleaded guilty to encouraging the suicide of Travis Dyer. The court also dealt with separate offenses involving illegal images discovered on his phone. Authorities stated that those offenses were not directly connected to Travis Dyer's death but were considered separately during the legal proceedings. After reviewing the evidence and hearing submissions from both sides, Leeds Crown Court sentenced Dylan Phelan to 6 years and 4 months in prison. In addition to the prison sentence, the court imposed a 10-year sexual harm prevention order related to the separate offenses. Prosecutors described the case as deeply disturbing and emphasized that individuals who use online spaces to encourage self-harm or exploit vulnerable people can and will face serious legal consequences. One of the most significant messages from the case was clear: physical distance does not protect people from accountability. Even when communications happen entirely online and involve individuals living in different countries, law enforcement agencies can still work together to investigate criminal conduct. This story is about much more than one criminal conviction. It highlights how online interactions can have real-world consequences. Many people assume that conversations taking place behind usernames and screens are somehow disconnected from reality. However, investigators and prosecutors repeatedly stress that online behavior can carry the same legal and moral consequences as actions taken in person. The case also shines a spotlight on the risks associated with harmful online communities. Most online communities are perfectly safe and provide valuable support, friendship, and shared interests. But there are also spaces where vulnerable individuals may encounter manipulation, harassment, or dangerous encouragement. Recognizing those warning signs is increasingly important in today's digital world. The tragic death of Travis Dyer and the imprisonment of Dylan Phelan represent two lives permanently changed by decisions made through online interactions. For families, educators, and internet users, the case serves as a reminder that what happens online can have very real consequences offline. If someone online is encouraging harmful behavior, attempting to manipulate you, or making you feel unsafe, it is important to seek help, speak to someone you trust, and report the behavior to the appropriate platform or authorities. And perhaps the biggest lesson from this case is that anonymity on the internet is not immunity. Digital footprints remain, investigations can cross borders, and accountability can eventually catch up with those who believe they are beyond reach. If you found this report informative, subscribe to the channel for more in-depth coverage of major crime cases, online safety stories, and important developments from around the world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.